you may take your child, or you may go to a specialist, and he will say, you have dyslexia with a touch of dysgraphia and a touch of dyscalculia and a touch of dyspraxia, which is balance and coordination, and some ADHD and possibly some Asperger's. What they're doing is, it's as if they don't recognize that it's like in a diabetic, for example. A diabetic can have 100 different symptoms: eye symptoms, skin symptoms, heart symptoms, vascular symptoms, and it's all caused by an insulin impairment. They don't recognize that still with dyslexia and even ADHD. So they call anything other than reading a comorbid disorder, an overlapping disorder. So if you're reading plus writing, writing is the overlapping disorder. And if you have spelling, that's an overlapping disorder. And if you have a math problem, that's an overlapping. And memory is an overlap. And they each have different names. So it's very, very confusing scientifically, but it's horrible if you're an individual with this problem. Then you add phobias and anxiety disorders and mood disorders on top of it, which are all part of that one syndrome or complex. It can be devastating. It's bad enough thinking you have one problem. Can you imagine somebody thinking they have reading and writing, they have 20 different disorders unrelated to one another? It's hopeless. How in the world do you get better? And the nice thing I didn't mention before is that adults very often have the same symptoms that children have. They may compensate for some, they may develop new ones or intensify, but they don't outgrow the disorder. It changes over time, and sometimes they intensify in adulthood with stress and menopause in women and childbirth in women and Lyme's disease and mononuclear. All these things can affect the shape of this disorder. And there's no adult that's going to go to 20, 30 different tutors for reading, writing, spelling, math, memory, speech. So especially for adults, it's extremely important to recognize they just have one simple treatable problem that radiates out in 100 different directions. And if you treat the core problem, like treating diabetes with insulin or related medications, you shrink the external symptoms, diminish them, or make them disappear.